Hey everybody, Hollywoodpizza here. Hope you've been keeping it cheesy. We've got a pretty greasy deck for you today that's going to help you get some free wins on the ladder. We've got the Greasefang Parhelion 2 combo. That's right, we're going to be coming in with some angels with just some big, huge flying vehicles as well. So let's go over this deck list here. If you don't know how the combo works, we're going to go ahead and start off with Greasefang here, a colorless white and a black for a 4/3 legendary creature rat pilot. At the beginning of combat on your turn, return target vehicle card from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains haste. And then you return that card to its owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step. And then we have the card that we're going to be reanimating with it, the Parhelion. It's a 5/5 flying, first strike vigilance. Whenever it attacks, you get two 4/4 white angel creature tokens with flying and vigilance that are also attacking. No real reason to go over that 8 mana cost, considering that we're just going to be cheating it out with the Greasefang. So we have our combo here. So how are we going to enable it? Well, we have some discard spells that we're going to use to discard our own cards. To start off with, we actually have a Lightning Axe. It deals 5 damage to a creature. It's only 1 red. You have to pay 5 a colorless additionally if you don't discard a card. But of course, most of the time in this deck, we're not going to have a problem having some cards to discard, whether it be the Parhelion or maybe even some additional lands that we have laying around in our hand. On top of that, we also have a classic here, Thoughtseize. Now, a lot of the time you're going to use this Thoughtseize on your opponent, but there are going to be games where you're just going to need to discard your own Parhelion and go off with the Greasefang. This card is just one of the best cards ever printed. Goes in almost every single black deck, main deck, or sideboard. Some other enablers, we have 2 Cathartic Reunions and 4 Thrilling Discoveries. Essentially, you discard 2 cards to draw 3 cards. They're both 2 mana. The Thrilling Discovery is a white and a red, and it does gain you life, so it has a little bit more upside, but these help enable the combo by putting the Parhelion in a graveyard or actually just digging deeper into the deck to find the cards that we need. We also have 4 Fable of the Mirror Breaker. This is a saga. Essentially, it makes a 2/2 token that creates a treasure when it attacks for the first chapter, but the second chapter is actually one of the most important parts of the deck where we need to discard some cards and kind of keep churning through the deck, so this definitely helps with it. The final form of this, when it flips over, actually does kind of help our game plan of playing fair if our combo isn't going off. So you can kind of copy these Blood Tithe Harvesters or even these Bone Crusher Giants, which the Bone Crushers are here additionally for being like a removal, the stomp side of it. Damage can't be prevented, deals 2 damage at any target. Or on top of that, if we just need a beefy threat over all that 4/3 body, can be very, very helpful. And copying with the Reflection of Kiki Jiki later in the game can be really powerful outside of us already trying to set up our Angel fun time here with the Parhelion combo. Another enabler that we just have a one of that we're still trying out right now is Plarg. Colorless and a red for a 2/2. You tap it, discard a card, and then draw a card. 4 colorless and a red tap. You can reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal non-legendary, non-land card, mana value 3 or less, and get the caster for free. We're not really too worried about that second half. Mainly worried about the first half, discarding a card and drawing a card. We also have Augusta, which is just a pretty powerful other side as well, where you can kind of protect your Greasefang from a potential 3 damage spell by giving its toughness 4. Or you can also pump up the Parhelion and the tokens to kind of hit your opponent for even more damage. Maybe even just killing them outright in 1 hit, whereas sometimes it could just take you 2. To kind of help us with some removal, we have a couple Fatal Push here, and a Heartless Act and an Abrade, 1 each there. Kind of just help kill some things that are in the way. The Abrade also helps kill any kind of problematic hate spell, like a Grafdigger's Cage, or even like a Soul Guide Lantern on the other side. We also, to kind of round out the main deck here, have 2 Can't Stay Away to help reanimate our Greasefang in case it does run into some removal. One thing to remember, if you go in the combat phase and they kill your Greasefang, but if you have mana left over, you can actually just Can't Stay Away and then just get the Greasefang and combo off against to kind of like blank your opponent's removal spell in the way. The only real land of a note in our main deck is 1 Takenuma. This card is phenomenal, just an all-star in the deck. It costs cheaper if you have a Greasefang out, or if you don't have a Greasefang out, you can just mill yourself to try to hit one, or even put the Parhelion into the graveyard when you need it, and then return your Greasefang if it died later on in the game. So Takenuma kind of just does a lot of the things that this deck needs, which is that it just needs a way to kind of keep comboing to help protect ourselves in a way. And this land definitely makes sure that it does that. For a sideboard here, we have 2 additional Duresses to help disrupt or to kind of get a peek of our opponent's hand, maybe get rid of a removal spell that may stop us from doing what we need to do with the Parhelion and the Greasefang. We have one Soul Guide Lantern and a couple of Go Blanks as a way to get rid of the graveyard. The Go Blanks help additionally in any mid-range to control matchup where the game could get grindy, and just having some more disruption for your opponent's hand and even getting rid of the graveyard if they're playing a deck like Cat Oven, anything like that is very, very helpful. We have 3 Graveyard Trespassers, which they go in sometimes with the Sorens and the Chandras, and even the Duresses against like a control deck or something that we know our combo is going to be very, very hated out. We can actually kind of take those out, bring in some more realistic cards like our Graveyard Trespassers or these Planeswalkers that can kind of help close out the game against a different type of deck. We also have Vanishing Verses, which help against any type of aggressive strategy by giving us additional removal spells. On top of that, it also gets rid of cards like a Leyline of the Void, Rest in Peace, anything that's problematic. Same as Fracture. Fracture can also kill a Planeswalker, which is nice. A lot of the time, Vanishing Verse kind of does the same. So these both end up being about the same card. It's just that the Vanishing Verse can sometimes be a little bit too narrow in that it only targets something that's monocolored. To kind of help round out the sideboard here, we have a couple Anger the Gods to actually get rid of any type of aggressive strategy, or like a Cat Oven deck where we're actually trying to just exile their cards overall. Anger of the Gods has just been kind of like an MVP from the sideboard, so it's just always useful to have this against a lot of different matchups. So yeah, that's our actual deck list. I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you haven't already, definitely subscribe to the channel. Would be greatly, greatly appreciated. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of the deck. Let me know what you think about Explorer overall. Would actually be just a really cool conversation to have. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump into the games. Well, let's see if we can keep the Greasy action going here. Try to get some angels, some vehicles, or maybe we can go with our backup plan of the Rafines. You never know. It's actually what I like about some combo decks is that there can be like a backup plan. We're on the play, which is nice. Yeah, I actually think that we can keep this hand. This hand looks solid. We have a way to discard for the Parhelion. We have a turn 3 Greasefang. We have 2 interaction spells and potentially turn 3 combo. So I think this is pretty decent. Alright, so go ahead and start off with a red source here. Potentially trying to do this Lightning Axe. And they do have a bow mat for us, so we're actually just going to wait till they attack so we can get a card off their deck. And then we'll go ahead and discard this Parhelion. And we have a Bone Crusher for their turn 2 play. And then we also have the Greasefang to combo out after that. So let's go ahead and see what our opponent does here. Could just have a Robber of the Rich. Looks like they actually have nothing. They could be waiting for us to play our Greasefang. And I'm actually just going to go, as strange as it is, I'm just going to go for the tempo play of just hitting them for 2 damage. And then play my Bone Crusher, considering that they're trying to play around our cards. I'd rather just play Fair Magic and put the aggressive deck on the back end and make them have to, you know, not play their game in a way, which is what they're doing right now. So let's see if they tap out, and they actually don't. So we're just going to keep these Bone Crusher beats going. And they do have a Lightning Strike for us here, so they'll just take 2 damage. We're okay with that. We could actually play Augusta just because it protects our Greasefang from a 3 damage spell. And I actually think that we're just going to do that. So let's go ahead and get Augusta down. Okay, so we have a Soul Scar Mage. And a Light Up the Stage. Okay, so they actually tapped out. And yeah, I just think that's it's just combo. That's really about it. We actually have a way to protect our card, which is really sweet right now. If they had like a 3 damage spell, but Looks like they don't even have that. So I actually think that probably just going to attack with this. And we can actually just tap all these down. Yeah, let's tap all these down and hit our opponent for more damage here. Yep, exact damage off of the Augusta. So it actually ended up being a lot better than I actually planned there, considering that we were able to play it and then get the final kill with the pump ability on it. So it looks like we're playing against a mono red type of deck. So what we want to bring in here is definitely some more interaction and potentially some life gain off of the Graveyard Trespasser. It's kind of like a weird balance because we don't necessarily, like, this is kind of a card I probably want to cut potentially against like a red deck just because it's a little bit slow, but at the same time, this card actually does what our deck is trying to do. I actually think that even though this was good in that instance, this isn't going to be good all the time. We could also almost cut a Can't Stay Away, but I know that they're going to hold up some kind of burn spells. We don't know if they are going to have Exile, but we don't necessarily want to take all those out. I think that we primarily want to bring these in. I don't really see anything else. There could be an argument for the Trespasser or the Sorin, but I actually think that we may just have enough interaction to get us through it. So, what do we want to cut here? It's kind of just strange, right? It's kind of like a little bit awkward. You just cut one of these. And I almost do want to cut a Can't Stay Away. Could even be a Blood Tithe Harvester. It does block fine. Yeah, I'll probably just cut one of these and we'll try it like this. We're up a game, so can kind of take a little bit of a chance here. Unfortunately, we don't have any white mana with this hand. We are on the draw. Don't have any real cards we can cast, so we do have to mulligan here. This is not that fantastic either, honestly. I think we will just go down to 5. I think that will do it. I don't think that I want to go down anymore. Yeah, let's just try this. Can get a Thoughtseize down. Okay, they just have Gitu Lava Runner. So I'm really hoping this Anger of the Gods gets us there. Let's see if we can kind of throw them off. Ooh, taking the Bone Crusher is actually fantastic here. Definitely going to snag that. We have a Fatal Push for the Lava Runner. Okay. Oh, we actually can't do that. So sorry about that. Yeah, we just have to say go. Hoping to hit one of our other colors here of mana to be able to cast this Thrilling Discovery. If not, we still have other things we can do. And so they have a Bowmat. So actually surprised they didn't Chain Whirler there. I think that we'll Fatal Push the Bowmat Courier after this. Yep. See if they discard their hand. They do not. Not worth it. Could have something else. Blood Tithe Harvester is a card. Unfortunately, drawn a little bit cold this game. Potentially want to... Well, I guess either way we will have to discard the Parhelion to try to hit another land. I think we could just take another 1 damage here, unless they have a burn spell, either way. I mean, I'm okay with that. The fact that they were using a 3 damage spell on our card was not the worst thing. Kind of in a tough spot now, though. Really, really need to hit a land. Okay, so we hit the land. I'm being a little bit risky here, but... Okay, they just have a land, so unfortunately we do take some damage here. And we're going to take a ton, so I think we're just going to end up having to move to game 3 potentially. Okay, they choose the Bomat instead of activate the den. Okay, we're at 7. We have Anger the Gods. They're going to be able to redraw off the Bomat. They do have a lot of damage on the battlefield now. They just have a lightning strike. Yep, we just died to the Den of the Bugbear there. So, fortunately, we got a little bit mana screwed. We did mulligan down to 5, so a lot of the time that happens, it's gonna be a lot harder to stay in the game. I still don't think that we really want to get rid of anything here. I think we're just gonna run it back and see what we can do. Okay, gonna be on the play this time. And I actually like our hand. We have the Thoughtseize for the Parhelion if we need to do it on ourselves. Probably start off with the Blood Crib tapped. I don't really think I want to deal myself that much damage against their deck. They are mulliganing twice, which is nice. So we may be able to... We might actually just want to do this. The 4 damage could save us a lot more, especially if they don't really have anything. And yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and take this. I mean, they have an instant speed kill spell for us, but we can get through that. We'll go Blood Tithe here. Really trying to hit a land. Don't really want to be in the same situation. Luckily, we do have a blood token here, so let's see if they just go to kill our card, which they might. That's fine. Not really too worried about that. We're getting more value off of the discard here, but Thrill and Discovery is actually almost better. Don't think that we want the Bone Crusher. Maybe we want to keep both of these as the hard kill spells. I think I'd rather do that. Okay, we do hit a land, which is nice. I don't think that paying the 2 life is worth the blood token. I kind of like our hand. Okay, so it looks like our opponent still doesn't have any creatures. I think that it may actually just be correct to get the Fable down. Just because they're not really doing anything. If they want to interact with our cards, they can, but I actually don't really mind it, considering that the more interaction they use on our other cards, it's less interaction that they'll be able to use on the combo. If we can get that going. And it looks like they just have a play with fire. That's fine. Just burn spells towards our creatures. Not really too worried about it. And they don't have anything there. We do have Blood Tithe. Do we want to keep that? Do we want removal or get rid of some of the removal? Try to give ourselves the best chance here of trying to draw into the combo. Try to hit a land and a Greasefang. Oh, we did hit a land and Greasefang, but the land does come in untapped, or tapped, excuse me, so gonna have to pass the turn back. We can hope that they top deck a land and then try to think about playing a creature, but it doesn't look like they are. Okay, so we're gonna be able to Fable. Still just gonna play the regular way of winning the game rather than comboing, just to kind of see if they just use their removal spells. Oh wow, okay, so they're just gonna kill that. I think that's okay. Still have a way to kill the reflection if they want to eventually. They have a Bomat. And let's see if they go to kill the reflection. They do not. So no attacks. Okay, no attacks. So just gonna get rid of the swamp here for a Bone Crusher. That seems really good. I'm actually gonna do this, and if they sacrifice the Bomat to get rid of our Bone Crusher, then we just have combo. Okay, they didn't want to fall for it. That's definitely understandable. Okay, they're just gonna kill the reflection now. Sure. Okay, we got a Bone Crusher. We have another Reflection that's flipping. Feel like we're in a pretty good spot. Opponent's kind of just like missing land drops here. They potentially have a kill spell, but we also have a can't stay away. So let's try to go to combat here. They're going to kill this. The Lightning Strike. And we'll go ahead and get it back. Go to combat. Get the Parhelion down. Crew it and come in for the win pretty much here. And yep, opponent's at 3. Doesn't really matter. Parhelion goes back. If they kill the Greasefang, we just get it back. And still be able to come in for some damage, what we have on the battlefield. So, pretty quick game there. I felt like our opponent obviously got mana screwed the last game. They mulliganed down, and then we were able to kind of Thoughtseize them out of the game. Kind of similar to actually kind of what happened to us in game 2 without them making us discard cards. We kind of mulliganed a little bit, so you know, it kind of shows you the variance of MTG can kind of always swing back and forth. So we're going to go ahead and move on to some other games, and we'll see you there. Grinding the ladder here with the Greasy Fang. Making some angels, punching our opponent. Feels pretty good to combo out. I still think this deck's good in Explorer. I just feel like sometimes you do run into a lot of hate. So for tournaments, it really depends on like the weekend, I guess, of what you're expecting to play this deck. Right, let's go and get matched up here. And see if we can keep it going. Gonna be on the draw. Let's see if we can get a decent opener here. And unfortunately, we only have one land here, so we do have to mulligan. This hand is actually a little bit better. I think we can keep this. The question is, do we want to keep the interaction, or do we just want to go combo? We may just want to go combo out. I don't know if we... I don't know about the chance to draw on another land. If we do, I feel like it's okay. Okay, so we're going up against Cat Oven. Fortunately, of course, our first card that we draw is a land, so gonna try to go for it here. Okay, they have Epicure. Do they have their own Thoughtseize is the question. Looks like they don't yet. They don't yet. Wow, we hit another Parhelion. Could have a removal spell. That would be unfortunate. See if they do. They're going to crack the blood. Maybe they're digging for a removal spell. I'm going all in here, though. I have no reason to really hold back. Devil. Wow, they actually tapped out. That's pretty solid. I guess we'll just get one hit, though, with the Parhelion. I guess that's okay. Yeah, that's fine. If we get a discard spell, we may be able to do it again. If not, we also have 2 4/4s that they have to deal with that are already lethal, so we have to find another way to discard these, I believe. Let's see if they find removal for our cards. So they have the Oven. They have quite a bit of damage here as well. They almost have to kill this because they're like almost in a spot to have to block, right? Fortunately, we are going to take a lot of incidental damage here if they start to sacrifice certain things and get the sacrifice chain going here. Let's see if they do. Okay, so they're just going to do this now. Can they kill us? Oh, okay, they just have Fatal Push. Gotcha. We can't really block either, I guess. Wow, that was really good draw there. Yep. Yeah, we had it too, so we would have actually been able to Parhelion again. Okay, they're going to get the cat back, deal us a damage. Gain a life, go to 1. Go ahead and attack with the angels here. Play this tapped and pass the turn back. So we have them at 1. They can gain a life off of the familiar. Have 2 cards left. Even if one of them is a removal spell, we should be okay. We are at 8 life, which is still pretty low, so can't really discount them playing like another Mayhem Devil and then trying to chain off to kill us. I think we want the Anger of the Gods here. Potentially the Go Blanks and the Trespassers. I just feel like all these are really good. Bring in the Soul Guide. Do want to exile their graveyard. Do we keep the combo in? I feel like we do. It's a lot of 3 drops though. Ugh, that looks kind of rough. Do we really want to cut here? Do we just want to go in a little bit more on the combo? Do we kind of just like cut one of these? Do we really need the Bone Crushers? Probably not. We can cut one more card. Do we shave a land? Have been getting flooded out quite a bit. But then we also did get Mana Screwed a game earlier. Tough decision. Maybe the Heartless Act. I could almost see a Fable coming out. But it is such like good filtering. Let's try this out. I'm not really sure which one I'd want to cut. I feel like we don't really play... Maybe I wanted to cut a white one. Like a white-black one, I'm not sure. I could also be wrong. I think we can keep this. We got a redraw, we got some removal spells, we got a Thoughtseize. Mana to cast all of our spells. Mostly just hoping to hit a combo piece, or we just have removal to kind of kill most of their things. That'll end up being a problem. Do that as a red source. I guess we just want to do that first no matter what. Oh, we didn't really hit the card that we wanted to hit. It's still almost want to... if they play Mayhem Devil next turn, it's going to be a bit annoying, but we do have a removal spell for it, so it's not as bad as it could be. I feel like I almost want to play fair this game. Just play this as like a 4-3 beater. I want to see them just tap out now. Yep, tapping out for the Mayhem Devil. Okay, so... And we get a redraw with that. I actually think I'm just going to Thoughtseize here. Have a push, we'll just get rid of that. They'll get a food token and be able to shoot us for a point of damage, but I feel like we kind of have this to a certain point right now. Only have 2 lands left. Grabbing the push was nice. Okay, they still have cats, so it's a little bit frustrating, but we have ways of... Oh yeah, I mean, we can just do that. Yep, we can just do that. Yep, get rid of the Parhelion. Get a redraw. Greasefang. And our opponent's going to pack it up. Go ahead and take that match down. Looks like we comboed out a bit there, so definitely doing what the deck's supposed to do early and often. We'll see you next match. Jumping back on the ladder here with some Greasefang. Seeing if we can keep this greasy pizza dripping. Let's go. Alright, let's see what we're playing up against here. Okay, we're on the play. That's a good sign. Wow, and we have some of the combo already. We're on the play. I actually think I kind of have to keep this. If we just draw any white source, we're pretty golden here. I think we... do we wait to Thoughtseize ourselves, or do we actually do it to our opponent this time? We have the Fable. We're just really looking for a land here. I think this decision's actually a lot closer than it seems. I think either way we want to play the Takenuma. And do we want to save the Thoughtseize for ourselves is the question. Now, let's see what our opponent's doing. I feel like that's a little bit better. Wow, we just take a Trail of Crumbs and they don't really have anything, so we actually could have just gone off pretty hard. Really hoping for something now. Ooh, Bone Crusher I guess is fine. So we just need to hit a land. That's not terrible. Okay, we do hit the land, which is fantastic. The only thing is that it's not a white source, but that's okay. We'll go ahead and get this Fable down. And then drop the Parhelion into the graveyard. If we draw any white source, we get this Greasefang down. Opponent's just playing Mayhem Devil. Okay, so we get some redraws here, which is nice. Do I just discard the Bone Crusher too? I kind of just want to do that, actually. Oh, I guess... Sorry, we can only discard up to 2. Sorry about that. That's getting a little bit greedy there, trying to just discard all my cards. So I actually think we're just going to go ahead and shoot this down. Attack for 2, make the white source now, and then pass a turn back to our opponent. Yeah, we'll just pass. We have a Fatal Push if they play anything that's like 2 or less. And then we could potentially combo next turn. Obviously, it was a little bit awkward missing some land drops, but at the same time, we still have cards to help us through, so... Let's see if they have a kill spell for us here, considering that they're just passing. Our Fable is going to flip, but they have a meat hook for that. Let's see if they have an answer for us. We can also make a treasure off of this, which is nice, so that way we still will have some more mana for the rest of our spells. Do they have a exile, or are they just looking in the graveyard? Could have a Cling here. Main deck Cling. Could be main deck Cling. They have the land to wipe the Greasefang next turn. Kill spell. Okay, no kill spell yet. And we're getting to crew. Okay, gonna come in for some damage here. We do get to keep the angels, maybe. Alright, damage is happening, it appears. Getting the angels. See how much damage this is. We do have a Bone Crusher in hand, so we're able to kind of just like finish the game here. They go down to 3. So we're not able to kill them yet. We'll go ahead and get this Parhelion back to our hand. Opponent is going to be able to meat hook, which is a little bit frustrating, but that will just tap them out. And then we should be able to just come in for the win after that. Okay. So what do we want to sideboard here? Still playing against the same type of deck. I think we just want the Anger of the Gods, Soul Guide Lantern, a couple of Gold Blanks, a couple of Graveyard Trespassers. We'll shave some of the same cards that we did last time. I like Lightning Axe though, but well. Got the stay away for sure. Trying to think of what we mostly shaved. I guess we can just cut these. It's not really like a big deal. And we can cut a land. We cut a Foundry. I think I'd rather cut a white one just because we really do need the red. I'm like really like valuing the late game more than the early game with that decision. I know it seems kind of weird, but I'd rather have an untapped land at all times rather than a tap land later. Yeah, this hand's great. This hand is great. We have removal spells. We have Graveyard Hate. We have a discard spell for the Parhelion.
Parhelion. P-A-R.
And I actually think that we're going to... Sorry, my phone was or my watch was going off there, talking about Parhelion for some reason. Throw in Discovery here, get rid of both of these. Let's hope we don't get blown out by something random here. We have an Abrade. We have the Go Blanks. We have the removal spells. Alright, we're just really looking for a Greasefang now. I think that... we're okay playing this as Black Source. Let's go ahead and get down this Blood Tithe Harvester, which actually gives us another redraw here, which is nice. We have removal spells. Mostly just trying to combo here. Looks like they have a removal spell for us here. That's fine. Completely okay with that. They have Oven. We have the Abrade. Let's go ahead and crack. Let's actually... Wait. And then crack this now. Discarding the Swamp that we don't really need. Trying to hit this Greasefang. Okay, no Greasefang yet. We do have Takenuma, so we're probably just going to do that. Play this as a white land. Pass the turn back to our opponent here, and then mill ourselves and hopefully hit a Greasefang off the top of the deck into the Parhelion combo. Opponent is getting close to being able to meat hook us, though, for some damage. Would we rather kill that? I don't think so. See if we hit a Greasefang off the top. And we do, so we'll go ahead and grab that back. Okay, they have 2 mana open, so do they have a kill spell is the question. If they do, we'll be able to kill their Mayhem Devil. Go into combat. And it looks like they do have a kill spell for us, unfortunately, but we have a kill spell of our own with our push here. They have 3 cards left. Whoops, sorry about that. I'm actually just going to play that in case we really do need the mana, because we can kill something and be able to go blank. Oh, wow. That is definitely a card, though. We cannot kill that right now. I actually don't know if we have a way to kill that left. So we may end up taking quite a bit of damage here, but that's okay. We have Fable to potentially keep us in here. We'll get a redraw with this Parhelion. Probably ditch the Fatal Push. Okay, they just have Cat, but we can kill that eventually. Or we can exile it with the Go Blank. Kind of want them to play out some more cards from their hand. Korvold's going to get bigger. They only have 1 mana available right now. They do have a lot more cards, but... see what else they have. So they're going to pay 2 life for the land. And they have a Fatal Push here. That's fine. And a Trail of Crumbs, which seems really good. They can get back the Cat. So Corvold could end up hurting us quite a bit here. We do have a lot of redraws, so I still think we're going to ditch this Fatal Push. We have a Go Blank to get rid of the cat. We're really hoping to hit something good here. So let's get rid of these two. We actually get to keep the Fatal Push, which is decent. Okay, we didn't hit the cards we needed there, so now we're just trying to survive. We should just do this just to get rid of the cat. That way they can't do it again. At least that's what we know of now. We'll get rid of some cards. Maybe they have cards they want. And... yeah, we'll just do this in case. In case we really need the push or the abrade. They do have an 8/8 Corvold though, which is pretty big here. Could end up being what finishes us. Yep, Cauldron Familiar gonna get us down to 12. And this can be a 9 when it attacks. So we're gonna go down to 3. We're like almost even in cat range as well. It's kind of scary. Oh wow, they're gonna sacrifice a land. Okay. Definitely reasonable. Gonna go down to 3? Or do they have more? Oh wow. Alright, we might almost be dead here. They can sacrifice a treasure for 11. That's already almost there. Do they have one more card here that sacrifices? Alright, yep. They got a Deadly Dispute. So they're going to go ahead and get that Corvold all the way up with those treasures. So let's see if we have anything on our sideboard. I guess we have... We did get rid of those Lightning Axes. We might almost want to bring them back in, considering that the Vanish Converse can't get rid of the Corvold. Kind of got a little bit unlucky there, honestly, as well, considering that we just drew so many lands. Only one Greasefang, unfortunately. 3 Parhelions, I believe, were in the graveyard. Yeah, it was a little bit unfortunate there. So, really could cut these for the Lava Axes, I think. Bone Crusher is fine, but it's not going to really be the end-all, be-all, I believe, in this matchup. We're not really going to be trying to use it on the cat, because they're probably going to sacrifice in response. It doesn't kill Mayhem Devil or Corvold. Definitely would rather have the Lightning Axe. We don't have the right color mana, but we do have a Thrilling Discovery. If our opponent has a Thoughtseize, we would be in some really, really big pain here. The question is it worth the risk, considering that we get some more redraws? I'm almost leaning more towards no. But we do have most of the combo here. Just really depends how much time they want to give us. Ugh, a little bit more of a painful mulligan here. Now we need one land to be good, but we do have a lot of hate. Okay, let's try this out. That hurt a little bit, but I feel like this hand is a little bit more playable. Could be wrong about that. Ooh, a Deadly Dispute. Yeah, let's just get rid of this. Rather just get rid of the engine here. We're still definitely not close to where we want to be. The Fable really does help, though. Braid's a little bit annoying. Wow, that Blood Tithe Harvester is actually the type of card that we wanted. It could actually get the Abrade out of their hand early. We're hoping to top deck a land here for the Fable. If not, we're definitely going to start to be in some trouble here. Fortunately, it looks like we could have gotten away with maybe our first hand to get a redraw. But I don't really want to take that risk considering there's cards like this in the format. So they can sacrifice their food to Deadly Dispute or to Abrade. Think I'd rather just, like, kill their cards. Like, kill this. I guess we have the Heartless Act as well. We're gonna be getting chipped away. They're just gonna sacrifice this here. We could see if they let this go. Maybe they just Deadly Dispute now. Oh wow, they're sacrificing the food. Okay. Huh. Or I guess they have to tap the food, so they're sacrificing the goose. It's kind of weird. I'm gonna take the devil. Yeah, devil seems pretty good. I don't want to play the Soul Guide Lantern yet. I think I just want to come in for damage. And then we'll go ahead and pass a turn. I almost want to discard one of these cards to be able to try to draw land for this Fable. The Fable gets us some more redraws as well. So we're taking some damage here, but I think it's okay. Wow, we draw Takenuma. That's actually a little bit clutch there. So we'll go ahead and come in for 3 damage here. We can still win this race. And we'll go ahead and cast the Fable. Don't know if we want to discard any of the cards in our hand. I really like what we have here. Fortunately, they can get a Corvold online, and we don't have the Heartless Act open for it. It's actually my biggest worry right now. Yep, I think that's what's going to happen here. Oh, wow, just a me hook for 2. Okay, that's fine. They actually don't have a food out. This is a treasure. So we can actually soul guide them a little bit. Oh, they're going to get a food now, though. Okay. So still can't do that. We have Cathartic. I think I just want to go for combo here. Maybe draw some lands that we need. We could play this. We have a redraw here with the blood token. Yeah, I think I'm still just going to go for some redraws here. Try to hit some gas. We really need to hit. Okay, Anger's fine. Oof. Can save that at instant speed. We need the white land. Go and pass a turn. Anger's good. They don't get the cat back yet. Okay, with all this happening, we want to crack this blood token to try to find some cards that we need. Fabled is going to flip, even though we have Anger. That's still okay. We're drawing quite a bit of lands here, though, unfortunately. I think we're just going to pass it back here. Okay, they're going to make a food, so they do have quite a bit of life. Maybe they'll use the Abrade. Not yet. We could almost force the Abrade with the Anger of the Gods, which is weird, but something we could do. Okay, they're going to do this here, make us lose a life. And they get another Cauldron Familiar down. Okay, they just have a Fatal Push now for the reflection that they drew. So we're getting chipped away here a little bit. Not really hitting the cards that we need to hit. Let's see if we can get this Abrade out of their hand. Looks like they're just going to make a food token instead. Don't really think that we need the lands. Could be wrong. Just feel like I just want to hold these in case we get a discard spell. Just because we really do still want this Anger of the Gods. Going down to 7 isn't the best, but it's all we got right now. So we can get rid of some of these cats. We have a Parhelion. That is definitely a start. They actually chose not to Abrade their own card, which is interesting. Yeah, I'm actually just going to play one out now. See if we can get something good here in our next few draws. Mayhem Devil. Oh, it's starting to get scary. Well, we're actually just dead to the Mayhem Devil here because they have a food token. And they can just abrade their own Mayhem Devil after combat. Well, we got close this match, but unfortunately, we kind of just drew a little bit too many lands again, and so far, that's kind of been a little bit of our downfall here. But we'll go and move on to the next match and see what we can do. Alright, jump into some more games here with some Greasefang. Keeping it greasy. See if we can go back to beating our opponents down with some angels here. I actually do enjoy this deck quite a lot. I really do like the grind aspect of it. I'm telling you, having a combo deck, it's always nice to have a backup plan. Especially considering that like our deck is based off of the graveyard, and there's always so much graveyard hate running around. Alright, let's see if we can get a good opening hand here. Yeah, I actually think this is decent. We're on the play. Go ahead and start off with this Blood Crypt into the courtyard. And then we can Cathartic Reunion this Parhealing away, trying to hit a Greasefang on the play on turn 3. Seems pretty solid. Okay, so they have a Den of the Bugbear. We actually hit another fast land here, which is interesting. I think we're just going to go ahead and Cathartic. Did not hit a Greasefang, but we do have some more redraws with this Fable of the Mirror Breakers, so that's still going to come in handy here. Looks like we're playing against a Rakdos deck, potentially. There's been a popular version of Rakdos running around, so I think that's what this is. We'll go and get our Fable down first, considering we're trying to Greasefang as soon as we can. Get that Greasefang down ASAP. We may actually be in a bit of trouble if they get a Trespasser down because we don't have a way to kill it. And we already got rid of one Parhelion, so they kind of know what we're up to already. And wow, we actually hit a Greasefang. Let's get rid of both of these. Can make our opponent have the removal spell, which is likely that they do. They could crack a blood and then push the Greasefang. Would we rather just wait? I think I would rather just wait. Let's try to just beat them with some of our regular cards first to get them to tap out, and then we can just hit them with the big swing. Don't think we want to throw in Discovery. I'd rather kind of just play a little bit of some small ball with them, kind of try to bait them into tapping out here. See how many removal spells they actually have. So it looks like they do have a Bone Crusher here at least. That's fine. Wouldn't have been able to kill the Greasefang, but we also don't know what else they have. I would really rather wait for them to be tapped out and then get blown out by any form of removal spell here. If we draw a land, we also get close to being just Thrilling Discovery plus the Greasefang. Potentially getting back a Can't Stay Away. And it looks like they're just going to hold up the mana. We're okay with that. Just going to hit them for 2 damage here. If they want to keep mana up, we are completely okay with that. We have a Fable coming down now. Do we want to use this Thrilling Discovery is the question. I don't think we want to use it yet. Rather just get this Bone Crusher down. Just trying to beat him with our regular cards here. And we'll pass the turn back. And they have a Bedevil, that's okay. They're going to take a couple damage for that. And we still have a Greasefang here. And some Thrilling Discoveries to potentially get us some redraws in case something goes wrong. And it looks like they may cast this Bone Crusher. They're potentially thinking about it. And still holding all their mana up. We're okay with that. And we actually have a can't stay away. So we're going to Greasefang here. If they have a kill spell, we have the can't stay away to get it back. I think that they do. Okay, maybe they just have a removal spell now. Gonna crew it. Do they have a way to kill the Parhelion? I have 4 mana open. Could have the main deck of Braid here. Coming in handy, or more Bedevils. Okay, Kolaghan's Command. Can't copy this. Do we have any real response to this? I don't believe so. I think that's fine. Okay, and then we'll go and pass back to our opponent here. So I think we did okay with somewhat baiting them to a certain degree. We do have this card to get back any creature. Maybe we wanted to do that, but rather just hold it for the Greasefang. Okay, they're just gonna pretty much tap out here. I think that that's it. We can get the Greasefang back. Go to combat. Do they have a kill spell for us? They do not. So we went ahead and took down game 1 here with the combo. What else do we want to do against our opponent? This deck does look pretty good against us. Kind of want the Duresses and the Vanishing Verses. Maybe one Anger. Didn't really see them flood the board, but I don't know if like me sideboarding the Anger in is kind of like a little bit preemptive, considering that we haven't seen some of the cards that they could be playing. I'm mostly just going off of like what I've seen. This is only the creature. We saw an Obnixus, so we kind of just want some more Planeswalker cards in a way. We actually don't really have anything outside the Bone Crusher. I think that we could keep the Bone Crusher in as well, considering that it was decent enough pressure. Do we want to just cut the Abrade? That's fine. We can cut an Abrade, considering we're bringing in the Anger. It's like kind of the same a little bit. We can like wait for them to flood the board before we actually use the board wipes, so... Alright. Well, this hand is actually not bad. We're on the draw. We have some spells that we can cast. The Thorland Discovery can kind of get us out of whatever pickle as well. Thoughtseize, luckily we have a couple of these. Probably just get rid of the Discovery because it redraws us a lot of cards. Actually going to get rid of one of the Greasefangs. I'm okay with that. I think we do Discovery here, just to be able to hit our combo a lot faster. Oh, and we actually have Parhelion there, so... but they could have a Graveyard Exiling card. Would we rather Blood Tithe Harvester? I think I'm okay taking the chance here. Yeah, I'd rather get some more redraws from the Thrilling Discovery. Okay, they just have Soul Guide Lantern. That's fine. Parhelion's gonna go. We may want to do a fair game plan now. We don't... Unfortunately, we don't have our Abrade anymore, so we kind of almost have to like play into this card. Kind of like stalled out a little bit too. This is actually kind of what happens sometimes with this deck, is that just one piece of hate could actually kind of mess you up quite a bit. I think we're still just going to do this. We just have to still just bait them to try to exile the graveyard. We draw 3 more cards, so we have more Greasefangs. Hoping to dig some more Parhelions here in a bit. May get beat down by this Blood Tithe Harvester on the way. Opponent's down to 4 cards. They have a Fable. See if they have a land or if they actually just end up keeping it. Okay. I think we just play our own Fable and then try to draw into Parhelion to go off maybe in 1 turn, or at least we have to try to bait them either way with that. I'd rather set up a bigger turn where we're able to do a bunch of things at once. Okay, opponent just choosing to redraw 1 card, so their hand must be pretty good. And a Blood Chief's Thirst here. On our token, we're going to take 5, go down to 13. Well, Duress is pretty nice. I don't mind a Duress. I think I'm just going to go for 1 redraw here. A little bit unfortunate. Let's go and go for a Duress, see what they have. Yep, going to go ahead and take the Abrade. Let's try to get the removal spell off the battlefield, the Soul Guide Lantern for our graveyard. There's no way that they'll let this happen, right? They're just going to have to pop it. Yep. So we can still block with the Greasefang, which is pretty nice. This is going to flip. We still have cards to discard to Cathartic. And a backup Greasefang just in case. But I guess we really need to hit Parhelion here to have that be the thing that we want to discard. Okay, looks like they top deck a removal, so we're going to go down to 8. They'll get another treasure token. We can kill the reflection, so that's not really the issue. Okay. So that's all we have right now. I think that we're just going to get rid of this while we can. I'm actually... they get another blood. They can kill this. It's a little bit risky, but I think I'm just going to cast this now with the mana that I have. And then try to mill with the Takenuma next turn. And then maybe even Cathartic Reunion if we need to on top of that. Yep, that's fine. They use their treasure. The Bone Crusher can't attack yet, so... a little bit in the clear in terms of that, but we're still in a lot of trouble right now. Obviously, having the first game down is good just because we're not too behind. We're going to have to take the damage here just because the Blood Tithe Harvester will finish off the Greasefang. Really hoping to hit a Parhelion off the top of our deck here. Okay, Vanishing Verse is actually not terrible. This only costs 3 mana. Okay, no Parhelion. We get this Greasefang back, and we have a Vanishing Verse. Do we redraw now? It's not really doing much. I think we're just going to have to pass here. Gonna get a treasure. I think we block the Bone Crusher. And then Vanishing Verse. I guess we could block here and Vanishing Verse the Bone Crusher, but then we take 5, go down to 1. That seems really sketchy. Opponent's still at 16. They don't have a creature land. This does put us in the position to have to block the Blood Tide next turn. Maybe we just block the token. It's kind of a tough decision here. We're really just hoping to top deck a Parhelion or just... I guess it's like Parhelion or bust. We've also used a good amount of our Greasefangs as well. That would be our third Greasefang. I think this just saves us the most life. And we'll go ahead and just exile this as well, and then take 3, go down to 3. Alright. Really trying to draw something good here. They're going to crack their blood token, discard in a land. We hit a Greasefang again. A bit painful, considering we have to block with it. But we have some redraws. Oh, did they have a kill spell for us? Yep. They just ended up having a removal spell off the top, so we ended up just losing that game either way, even though we tried to hold in as long as we could. Yeah, I kind of almost want the second Anger the Gods. These Bone Crushers don't really look that fantastic. Could bring this back in. Or we could also bring in the Fracture. I guess Fracture is actually not really that bad, because if they're going to bring in some hate, then we want to be able to deal with it. And we can also kill the Fable. I think we kind of just got a little bit unlucky there. See if we can get the combo going this game, or if we can just beat them with the regular cards. I feel like either way we were close at one point that game to stabilizing, but just wasn't able to happen. We have a Blood Tithe Harvester, some lands. Ooh, kind of scary. I think we're just going to go for it, though. I don't really want to go for a mulligan and then be down a lot of cards. Our opponent's also mulliganing, so we might be able to just get both of these Thoughtseizes to snap off their first 2 plays, and then maybe be able to get this Blood Tithe Harvester as a card that will get us there. Wow, so we just take the Graft Diggers there, and then we can take the Graveyard Trespasser. They actually can't play the Graveyard Trespasser yet, so I'm okay just playing our own Blood Tithe Harvester and then seeing if they want to trade. We also have Fable the Mirror Breaker, which is nice for a curve play next turn, but I would rather get rid of this Graveyard Trespasser. That's actually going to be a problem. Let's see if they drew anything else that's worth taking. Ooh, Colligan's Command. Almost feel like the Colligan's Command is worth taking instead, just because it's instant speed interaction. I'll play the Godless Shrine tapped. And we'll pass the turn back. We can discard the Sacred Founder to try to dig for something good. I think I'd just take it. They're going to play the Graveyard Trespasser. Yeah, I'd rather just take it. It's really risky, but not even going to do anything. Let's go ahead and crack the blood, get deeper into our deck to hit the cards that we need. We hit another Harvester, that's okay. Vanishing Verse is fine. It gets rid of the cards that we need to get rid of. We'll play our Fable here. And I'll probably just trade now. Wanted to just wait a turn just in case. Even though obviously we're not going to be able to use the removal on it, but we ended up having another Blood Tithe Harvester off the top too, which is interesting. Okay, so they just tap out for Fable. I think I'm okay just making the trade here, saving myself some damage. Probably just discard a Blood Tithe Harvester here. We had a Greasefang. Okay. That's not really that crazy. I think I'm just going to say go here. Was really hoping to hit some Parhelions, but unfortunately we just didn't get any there. So we may not have the combo this game either. We'll see how it ends up. Go ahead and take the damage here. Yeah, Chandra's pretty good. I do have ways of exiling these cards, though. Let's see if they kill our token. I'm just going to deal some damage. Wow, so they're actually going to get the Thoughtseize here. Let's see what they take. Either way, let's say they just take a Vanishing Verse anyways. I mean, we're still going to have to use one. So yeah, they're going to go ahead and get rid of that. No, let's get rid of the Kikis first. Hit another Greasefang. So many Greasefangs. Let's go and get rid of the Chandra now before it gets back to their turn. And we'll pass a turn back. Probably trade with the token or trade with the Den of the Bugbear, whichever they decide to do. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna, well, we do have Kikis, so maybe we just want to save it. Could have a removal spell for us, which they have had lots of removal the whole game, but okay, we got pretty lucky that they didn't have it there. So Kiki is going to help a bit. The Trespasser does do quite a lot, though. They have one card left. I really don't know if it's worth using this Thoughtseize. It looks like it is a spell that they have a stop for, though, so... Okay. And they are going to activate the Den now, so we have some really good blocks, though. Gonna exile one of our Blood Tithe Harvesters. Let's go block here, and trade. And we still have a block. Ugh. Do we even want to play the other Greasefang? We might have to here. It blocks the token. They don't have a man land left. They have 3 cards now. And they're just going to come in. Okay, no attack. Blood Tithe Harvester is great here. Make a copy of the Blood Tithe Harvester. Kill the token. Come in for 4. And pass the turn back to our opponent. We have a redraw with the blood token if we need to on the Thoughtseize. And we'll go ahead and discard this Thoughtseize. Getting a Parhelion. Make a copy of the Blood Tithe Harvester. Discard the Parhelion. Yeah, I mean, discard the Parhelion again in case they have, like, a one of, like, exile or some nonsense, I guess. And we'll go to combat, get back the Parhelion. Our opponent gave us a good game, and we'll get that match down. What a grindy game that was. Wow. We actually ended up getting all the cards we needed there right at the end, right when we needed them finally. So that was actually really, really great. I was starting to worry a little bit there. I got pretty close to the end, but yeah, we took it down. Welcome back to the post game. So, Greasefang, is it the real deal? I'm not sure. I think that a more experienced pilot could probably take this deck all the way up the ladder pretty smoothly. Only having 11 games in with this version and the Esper version, I'm not entirely sure how I myself feel about the deck. I have played against it on the ladder, and I haven't really had too much trouble against it myself. I know that there are a lot of players out there that do fear this deck and can run into some issues with it. It really just comes down to like how much interaction you're actually like running. I know that the Rakdos deck that's been running around I think that deck is actually super solid and has great game against this, and actually just has great game against the rest of the format. I actually think that this deck is more like a Dredge style deck, not in terms of what its game plan is. It's not the same type of deck as Dredge, but it's a deck where if you don't have the respect for it, it'll just show up and take down a tournament. But it's not necessarily a great deck all the time. And on the ladder, you really could have some good runs. And, you know, if you really learn the ins and out of the deck, then yeah, you're going to be able to take this deck to a lot of free wins. You're going to be able to rank up a lot easier. But in the same time, like, you know, if you're just trying to pick a deck up, and this isn't really like your playstyle, I actually just don't really recommend this deck. I think that you really have to want to play combo, and you really kind of have to be okay with just outright losing to some hate cards or to like yourself some games. I don't mind it because I'm used to playing combo decks, and I actually wanted to see like the power level of this deck specifically, or like this combo specifically. And even though both of these cards are like really nutty together, I actually think that it's a really, really powerful effect, but it's manageable. So this isn't going to like take over the format by any means. It could have been better once more cards enter Explore, but for now I think that it's really good when it's really good, and when it's not really going to do anything, and it ends up losing pretty easily, or you can kind of just like beat it on the ladder. So I think that it really just comes down to what your playstyle is with decks and your choice of whether deciding you want to play this or not. But kind of just giving you an honest opinion here, not really hyping up the deck up one way or another. But, you know, most of the time, all these decisions come down to what you want to play. And if you like to play combos, if you like to hit your opponent for a ton of damage and kind of just swing the game really quickly in your favor, then this is the type of deck for you. Yeah, that's, you know, pretty much all of my overall opinion on the deck. If you enjoyed the video, definitely subscribe to the channel, would be greatly appreciated. Leave a comment down below on Explore, on the deck, anything you'd like to talk about. And we'll see you next time. Stay cheesy.